It's a very special day at Donington for the British Touring Car Championship, and there's a massive crowd to enjoy it. Not just one race, but two 15-lap events separated by a mere 10 minutes. And it was here last year that the two Vauxhall Works drivers, John Cleland and Jeff Allen, had a colossal accident. But John's looking forward to today.
I had a good race here and I had a bad race here. I had a terrible, the incident, which was no one's fault really, created a big problem with the whole race. But the very last race here on the Grand Prix circuit, I won last year, the very last race. So I'm quite pleased with that. The car's improved a lot since then, and I just hope that we have a repeat performance. I need the points. I intend to keep the lead in this championship.
John Cleland's got a new and even better Vauxhall Cavalier this year, and his 1991 car is now number 78. One of the Ecurie Ecosse team driven by Londoner Bobby Verdon-Roe, who's been having some spirited drives in it.
We basically got handed that last year's cars. We've got the same suspension. We've obviously got exactly the same engines as the Works team. John Dunn from Swindon Engines is doing a terrific job there, and actually you could see at Brands I had just as powerful engine as Alan. But otherwise it's completely different. We've basically got last year's cars with a few tweaks on them, and we're not doing too bad a job really.
It's the same with last year's top BMW, which champion Will Hoy drove. This year, private owner Matthew Neal's at the wheel. The Works teams unsurprisingly dominate the action at the front, but there's plenty of it amongst the private owners who fill out the entry behind them. People like Sean Walker, who's had a wealth of racing experience and who's driving the tech-speed BMW M3. British Racing Drivers Club director Ian Flux in his 18th year of racing. Welshman Carl Jones, who's a racing instructor at Brands Hatch and a devotee of the Touring Car Championship.
If it's very competitive, the racing's a lot closer, and that's what the public want to see. It's fantastic racing. The manufacturers are probably in a league of their own, but it's good to see the privateers having a race together as well.
And those privateers haven't been overlooked because they have their own championship, led by Sean Walker, a reassuring 12 points ahead of the closely matched Ian Flux and Carl Jones. But here's the top man on the grid for the first of today's two championship races. 1991 champion Will Hoy taking up his fourth successive pole position in his Toyota Carina, rebuilt after his massive crash at Brands Hatch. Second on the grid, it's BMW superstar Steve Soper, and an amazing fourth, Verdon-Roe's 1991 Vauxhall, faster than Works Vauxhalls and BMWs. And with Tim Harvey's BMW third on the grid ahead of Bobby, it's obvious that the new 318 Coupe suits Donington. But John Cleland's on the pace too, fifth on the grid, only 4/10 of a second slower than Hoy. So it's Hoy's Toyota heading the grid, followed by the BMW coupes of teammates Soper and Harvey, with Verdon-Roe a fine fourth. Cleland's Vauxhall fifth and Alan Menu's BMW head Andy Rouse's Toyota and Jeff Allen's Vauxhall. Then Tim Sugden BMW and Andy Middlehurst Nissan, followed by the rest of the 20-car grid for race one. 15 laps of Donington's superb 2.5-mile circuit. And with the new shape BMWs right up there, this could be a cracking race. Green lights, away they go. Will Hoy is leading. Green car with Soper, and he's being passed. Alan Menu's coming up on the right. Bobby Verdon-Roe on left. There's Verdon-Roe on the left. Menu on the right into Redgate. Hoy leads. Menu second. Verdon-Roe is third, and Cleland's past Soper too. Into the Craner curves. Building up speed. We're in car with Andy Rouse now. Seventh on the grid. He's past Steve Soper. That's John Cleland in fifth place ahead of him, and Andy is flying over 140 miles an hour at the Craner curves. And Rouse is trying to get in with us. And that's Steve Soper behind it, sixth from second on the grid. Up to McLean's. So it's Hoy. Alan Menu is second. Verdon-Roe is in third position. Coming up to Coppice, which leads into Starkey Straight. 150 miles an hour here from 2 litres. There's Rouse. And Will Hoy is starting to build up a bit of a gap as they go down to the S's, and there's 4 together for second places. In car with Rouse, the second gear chicane. Hoy leads, and there's a traffic jam behind him. Menu and Verdon-Roe together. Out of the S's, and Burton Rowe goes over the curve. Now they're going down to Melbourne Hairpin, and this is where good braking's called for. Burton Rowe moves across to the right to block Cleland, and he hits Menu. He's hit Menu, and Rouse has passed all three, and he's gone up into second place. Well, there is poor Alan Menu out after a terrific start. Up to Goddard, and Soper forces through to third position. We're with him now. Rouse second, Soper third, then Burton Rowe and Cleland, and there they are together, fourth and fifth. And Burton Rowe's tyre is found in the wheel arch, look, on the left-hand side of the car. Now, down to Redgate. Rouse, Soper, Cleland, David Leslie, number 79, up into fifth position. Down to the Craner curves again. And there's Burton Rowe, number 78. He is in trouble with that tyre. We're with Tim Sugden. He's in 8th place. Tim Harvey ahead. And Harvey goes through and catches and passes Burton Rowe. Harvey up into 6th position. And Steve Soper is fighting back.
Well, that didn't go to plan, that little start. That was a complete mess up.
Well, it may have looked like a mess up to Steve, but he's right with Andy Rouse now, and Rouse is in second position. We're with Tim Sugden. That's Burton Rowe ahead in 7th position, out of Coppice. Round they go at 120 miles an hour. We're in car with Jeff Allen now, 9th position behind Tim Sugden's BMW, and they're passing Bobby Burton Rowe's Vauxhall on the left. And they're passed, brakes on, and Burton Rowe lights up his tyres. That's Burton Rowe going through again, and he goes off. Rejoins over the grass, and past goes the Nissan. Now here's a replay of lap 1 at the hairpin. Bobby Burton Rowe, number 78, rams Alan Menu's BMW. He's not going to be at all popular with the ProDrive team. On he goes. Now we're with John Cleland replay. Watch Menu on the left. He turns in and boom! Burton Rowe hits him straight onto the depot and out of the race. Now we're back live at Redgate. Hoy leads. And here are Rouse and Soper. We're with Soper. Third position, Andy Rouse ahead in the Toyota. Into the Craner curves. Now looking back from Rouse's car at Steve Soper's BMW Coupe in third position. Up to McLean's, and Steve is all over Andy's Toyota. He's got ABS, anti-lock brakes, and they're working.
There goes your power to weight ratio again. That's why we carry our extra 100 kilos.
Steve obviously unhappy about BMW's 100 kilogram weight penalty for his rear wheel drive advantage as the privateers raise the dust. And at McLean's, it's Rouse, Soper, Cleland. Hoy is still leading, and John Cleland, I think, is catching Steve Soper. Now we're with Cleland down the Starkey Straight. Yes, past Steve Soper, up into third position. So Rouse is second, and Soper is fighting back as they come down to the S's.
Oh, come on, Steve.
It's going to be a phenomenal passing move, and he's done it. He's gone through. I don't believe it, but he must have a problem.
It's still misfired. OK, I've got a misfire, Vic. I've got a misfire coming into the box. Over.
So Soper's got a misfire coming into the pits, and John Cleland has repassed him to third position, up to Goddard. There is Soper going into the pits.
Into the box, the car is not running on all cylinders. It's popping and banging. Over.
Out of Goddard, John Cleland. Tim Harvey is up into fourth position. There's David Leslie in the fifth position. Soper's in the pits.
Vic or Barry, the start was terrible, so I don't know if the event the crank could have moved with the timing.
Well, I don't know, Steve, but it's the old hairpin now. Harvey, Leslie, Allen is up into sixth position, and we're with the Cavalier now. That's David Leslie ahead. So, number 6, Jeff Allen is in sixth position ahead. Number 79, David Leslie in the Ecurie Ecosse Vauxhall. So, Ecurie Ecosse Vauxhall leads 1992 Works Vauxhall. What about Jeff Allen? 1982 class champion for Rover. David Leslie, ex-Works driver for Jaguar, and he's going to lose his place because Jeff Allen is going past Starkey's at 145 miles an hour, and Allen is there as they go down into the S's. BMW, Vauxhall. Now down to the hairpin. Allen, fifth position from Lee in Surrey. David Leslie, sixth place from Carlisle. hairpin they go. Allen has got the place. Leslie has to drop back a bit. And Steve Soper is rejoining, and he's last. The problem was a cracked plug, and he's a lap behind. That is Alan Menu's BMW.
He wouldn't have made the corner, no way. There was that, and when I turned in, bang!
Fantastic start, goes in the first corner, second position, and got taken out by Bobby Burden-Rowe, so we're not very happy.
Not very happy at all. So, 1/3 distance, Hoy leads, Rouse second, and Will is leading by 4 seconds with his teammate in the second Toyota behind him. And hello, that is Torquil Tearing going backwards for Christmas, rejoining over the grass in his Toyota, well down the field, and he's had a lot of trouble this season. And now we're in car with Rob Gravitt, the 1990 champion in his Peugeot. 13th place and bump! He hits Burden-Rowe ahead of him. Patrick Watts goes through. Rob Gravitt has moved ahead of Burden-Rowe. Now he's going to try and take the black Mazda in front of him. Up to Goddard. And he's going through. Rob Gravitt goes up into 11th position. So Gravitt 11th, Watts is 12th and trying to retake it. Down to 13th place goes Burden-Rowe. On to Redgate Corner. Peugeot and Mazda alongside each other, and they touch. Well, as one. Patrick Watts, 32, Burden-Rowe, numbers, whoa, and there's another touch, it's action everywhere, Mazda, Vauxhall, Peugeot. And Patrick Watts, 32 on the right, has got a more powerful engine in his Mazda. Burden-Rowe retakes the place from Rob Gravitt, who is obviously a bit unsettled, and here they come into the old hairpin and out of it. Dust flying everywhere, Patrick Watts pulling away a bit, Burden-Rowe hanging on, Rob Gravitt is behind him. They're coming up now to McLean's. A terrific scrap in the midfield, because I remind you, this is the battle for 11th position. Up to Coppice, Mazda, Vauxhall, Peugeot. Down the straight, building up to over 135 miles an hour in these 2-litre cars, and here's 3 more of them. James Kay in his Toyota, Carl Jones in the BMW, Matthew Neal in the BMW, and they are all private owners. In car with Gravitt, into the S's, 13th place. Burden-Rowe goes through and takes Watts, and those cars must be awash with adrenaline. Back again with Rob Gravitt. He's going past Patrick Watts, down to the hairpin. Here he is. Closing on Burden-Rowe, number 78, who locks up his rear wheels. The brake balance is wrong. In the S's, Jones and Neal are past Kay, battling for 14th position. There's Neal, number 12, in the Rimstock BMW. And this is McLean's, back with the battle for second position behind Hoy's Toyota. Rouse, Cleland and Harvey. Out of the old hairpin. Harvey is holding Cleland. That's him that we're looking at now. It's great for BMW after all their work on the new car. Their best place so far this season, 2/3. Coppice. And Tim Harvey, number 8. There he is right behind John Cleland. So, Rouse second, Cleland third, Tim Harvey is in 4th position. They go into the S's together. Harvey closes right up on us. That's those ABS brakes working again. Nips over the curb. In car with Cleland. That's Andy Rouse in second place ahead, and I do believe that John Cleland is catching the Toyota. He is indeed. Look at it. Cleland, Harvey, third and fourth. There is Jeff Allen in 5th place. Second, third and fourth. 1.5 seconds separate them. And we're back with Rob Gravitt. Burden-Rowe ahead, 11th position. No, he's not. Off he goes. Gravitt goes up to 11th place, and that was Steve Soper behind them. And this is Ray Bell passing Tim Sugden's BMW to 7th place. We're in car with Sugden. He's looking down. He's obviously got a problem. And Ray Bell is fairly sprinting away in the 318 Coupe. Past the Nissan goes Rob Gravitt. Up into 10th position, and Burden-Rowe and Soper. But number 4, Steve Soper, is a lap behind after his stop. And Keith O'Dore in the Nissan Primera is going into the pits. Turns off the course, swings left, into the pit lane. Don't know what the problem is, but we're out of the old hairpin. No relaxation in the battle for second. Rouse, Cleland, Harvey and Allen. 2.4 seconds separates them, and Steve Soper is closing on Burton Rowe, who is 11th, to unlap himself. Past he goes. And further on at McLean's, Hoy leads, but here's the battle for second. Rouse, Cleland and Harvey, and Rouse is under pressure. Let's have a toe off you. Let's have a toe off you, says John Cleland, and the toe is going to come from Andy Rouse's Toyota. They're coming down to the S's, and John Cleland has got that toe. He's right up on the boot lid of the Toyota. Over the curves, left, right. Harvey follows them through in 4th position. Jeff Allen is just behind in 5th place. We're in car with Cleland. He is attacking for 2nd place, down to the hairpin. So Rouse in the blue Toyota, number 3 is 2nd, number 2 John Cleland is 3rd. Behind them, Tim Harvey in the BMW, number 8 is 4th, and Keith O'Dore exits the pits to rejoin the race in the Nissan. Out of Goddard. Look at this, still 2.5 seconds, covering 2nd to 5th, looking back from Rouse and John Cleland in 3rd place. He's going for it, down the main straight at 130 miles an hour, into the last lap. It's now or never for John Cleland. Front-wheel drive Vauxhall versus front-wheel drive Toyota.
We're going to catch him down through here, or we're going to lose him up the back.
I'm going to catch him down through here, says John Cleland. Down through here is the Craner Curves. That's where the Vauxhall's got the speed. There is the Toyota, 2nd place, last lap. Vauxhall, 3rd. And Tim Harvey going over the curves in 4th position. Up to McLean's. Rouse has got his headlights on. I'm the coming, he says. Move over. Into McLean's. There's the Toyota, 2nd place. It's anybody's race for 2nd position. Out of Coppice. 2nd, 3rd, 4th together. Will Hoy is some 3 seconds ahead of them. There is John Cleland. He's going to have us. He's closing all the time. Easing up on the main straight, down to the S's. Is this where he's going to try and take Andy Rouse? And there's somebody losing it. It's Carl Jones. Carl Jones off, and certainly out of the race. But it's up front, and there is Cleland, right with us, right on the boot lid of the Toyota. He's going through, surely. Down to the hairpin, they pass the Nissan. This is the last corner after this one. Round the Melbourne hairpin, up to Goddard, which is the last corner. Rouse, 2nd. Hoy is going to win. Who's going to be 2nd? It's going to be Cleland. He's passed. John Cleland in the Vauxhall takes Andy Rouse at the last corner. Quite incredible. 2nd Cleland, 3rd Rouse, and 4th Harvey. And in 5th position, Jeff Allen. 6th position is David Leslie in the Vauxhall. And there's the confirmation. What a cracking race. Toyota's 1st and 3rd, Vauxhall 2nd, 5th and 6th, BMW 4th, 2.5 seconds behind the winner, and now they've got 10 minutes to prepare for race 2. In comes John Cleland, nearly collecting somebody in the process, and I see he's wiped his door mirror off on something. Hardly surprising, I suppose. Out he gets. 9 points for that 2nd place, but Will got 12 for winning. Bit of a rest for Steve Soper, who stays in the car, and he'll be starting 17th for race 2. But what happened?
They looked at the plugs afterwards, and there's one of the plugs is closed up, so maybe it swallowed a stone, went all the way through the engine and popped a plug. But anyway, a new set of plugs, and the car was fastest. There's a lot of gravel and dirt and dust being thrown around, so...
Ace mechanic John Cleland seems to drive better than he fits mirrors. What about the race, though?
Bobby Verdenroe tried a ludicrous manoeuvre on the first lap. I mean, there was no way in the creation that was ever going to work. And he just, that stopped everything stone dead, and it let Andy get through as we were all trying to avoid the accident.
Took the line, you know, and I was defending John on the inside very heavily, and possibly as a result of that, braked a bit too late. I don't think, I mean, the problem was, you know, I arrived and he was just like completely across my bows, and I was doing my best to stop, but I hit him.
I mean, the guy came from nowhere, and he was nowhere near me, and he just came on the inside. As I turned in, I mean, the guy just hit me by a big way, you know, and that was it. I think without me, he would have gone straight on.
Well, the Pro Drive team's got a hatful of problems, like Tim Sugden's engine. And it's getting perilously close to the start.
I think the ECU's gone down.
On goes Ray Bellm's helmet. Ray's starting 7th. And off goes Steve Soper to join the grid, where once again Will Hoy is in pole position, as they're still working on Alain Menu's car.
Frantic 10 minutes there, but I think unfortunately both cars are starting from the pit lane. There was an injector problem with Tim's car, and of course you saw the accident on the first race with Alain's, but well, they're there now anyway.
Alain Menu down to the end of the pit lane for his start, and there are Soper and Tim Sugden. They're starting from the back. Now the grid's in the finishing order of race 1, so it's Hoy and Cleland row 1, Rouse and Harvey row 2, then Allam and Leslie's Vauxhalls, row 4, Ray Bellm alone because of Sugden's problem, row 5, Middlehurst Nissan and Kravitz Peugeot, and then the rest. Another 15 laps and more of the same, I hope, and it's go. And there's some rough stuff in the middle. Kravitz off to the right. Ray Bellm's gone off to the left. Cleland leads into Redgate. Harvey is 2nd. And Hoy is down to 3rd place as they go into the greener curves. Round the stream, down towards the old hairpin. And Ray Bellm gets going. And Jeff Allam is out. I missed that. And that's Andy Rouse. It's like a breaker's yard at the start. But here they come. Cleland, Harvey, Leslie, Hoy. We're in car with Hoy. He's down to 4th position. That is David Leslie in front of us. Up to McLean's and then on to Coppice. And Harvey is passing Cleland. A BMW leads for the first time this year. Leslie's going up into 2nd place. Round Coppice. And it's Leslie leads. Fabulous. Hoy goes through into 2nd place. Now down the Starkey straight. Bit of a wave from John Cleland there. Down Starkey's towards the S's, and Will Hoy has taken the lead. Leslie is in 2nd place. Into the S's. Hoy leads. Leslie. Through goes Tim Harvey, 3rd position. And that is Andy Middlehurst Nissan in 5th position, and O'Donnell goes on to the grass. Down to the hairpin. Leslie 2nd, and Harvey goes by. Fantastic braking. Up to 2nd place. Cleland is 4th. Middlehurst is 5th. Patrick Watts goes over the curb. We're going up to Goddard now, the tight left-hander. And Harvey is 2nd. Leslie 3rd. Cleland in 4th position in the Vauxhall. Leslie runs wide. And out to the grass. And John Cleland's up to 3rd.
That was an absolute fiasco. Leslie's as mad as Roe.
So down to Redgate, Hoy leads again. He's up from 4th place. Round with O'Donnell, and Rolf Kravitz is in the pits.
Well, Bellm came across from the other side of the track and hit me in the side, and I had a really good start. Car went sideways. I think I was on the inside of Allam, and well, you saw the rest. It just hit the wall. So I think there are other people that had different ideas out there. I mean, you don't just pull across the track like some people did, but never mind, it's one of those things, isn't it?
Back in the race, Hoy is leading, Harvey's 2nd, Cleland is 3rd, Middlehurst is 4th, and there he is in the black Nissan Primera. Through the S's, and it is close. In car with Steve Soper, he's storming up through the field from 17th. He's caught Keith O'Donnell in front there, and he is in 8th position. And this is Sugden, number 10. He's 6th. That's O'Donnell behind him. Behind him is Soper, number 4. And we're in car with Soper. Sensational. He's up to 8th behind O'Donnell. Look at him. Now to Goddard. Sugden, 6th position. Number 30 behind him is Verdon Rowe. Then it's Keith O'Donnell. We're with Soper now. A bit aerated with Keith O'Donnell about something as they go down towards Redgate. And that's Sean Walker in the pits, and he's leading the Private Owners Championship. No points for him this time. Out of Redgate, Hoy leads, Harvey 2nd, Cleland 3rd, Middlehurst 4th, Leslie, there he is, 5th position. Down to the old hairpin. There's Matthew Neal in his BMW. And Tim Harvey certainly got himself wound up in this race. John Cleland onto the grass.
I don't want to do that too often. Got a combine harvester.
Never mind, John, you did a lovely job. Now, McLean, Harvey is inching up on Will Hoy. Crellin, there he is third. Middlehurst is fourth. Leslie fifth. That's Sugden in sixth position. Going up to Coppice. Round the right-hander they go. That's about 120 miles an hour as they exit that corner. Away with Soper out of Coppice. He could take Keith O'Dore on the braking for the S's. Cleland raised the dust there. Down to the S's. Now let's see. Cleland is third. Middlehurst is fourth. We're back again with Soper. Through the S's. Verdon Rowe is seventh. O'Dore is in eighth position, number 23. With Soper on the way to the hairpin where Harvey was so good on braking. Now he's going to do it straight past O'Dore, straight through on the inside, and Steve is seventh from 17th, number 4, in car with O'Dore. That's Soper ahead, he's just been taking him. Up to Goddard, and Verdon Rowe's going through. Bobby Verdon Rowe passes O'Dore up into 8th position, and in the black Nissan, we're with him now. Keith O'Dore is fighting Bobby Verdon Rowe's Vauxhall down to Redgate. And now Steve Soper, number 4, is setting about Tim Sugden, but he's in a BMW and he's got ABS braking too, so it's not going to be easy for Soper. We're with him. There's Verdon Rowe. Behind him is O'Dore into the Craner curves with O'Dore. It's some 140 miles an hour here, and that's the spectacular Bobby Verdon Rowe in 8th place ahead. Number 78. O'Dore is attacking up to McLean. Right-hander climbing uphill. And that dust is from David Leslie's Vauxhall. Sugden is 6th, Soper is 7th, we're with him. This is just like Brands Hatch all over again. And he's catching Sugden, no doubt about it. Look, down Starkey Straight, these are the leaders. Hoy, Toyota, Harvey, BMW. Back again with O'Dore, closing on Bobby Verdon Rowe's Vauxhall, 8th position. Brake hard for the S's. And they go through almost together. Verdon Rowe, O'Dore, it's as close as that. Down to the hairpin. Now, there is Sugden. Where is Steve Soper? He's right behind him. And they're both with David Leslie, who's 5th in the Vauxhall. Now, Sugden ahead is staving Steve Soper off now, but will he be able to from now on? Coming up to Goddard. Sugden, number 10. Soper, number 4. Ahead of them is Leslie, 6th position. With Soper, 2 cars ahead, 2 places to be gained if he can get by. Sugden from Bradford. Steve Soper lives in Monaco. Races in the German Touring Car Championship. For BMW with terrific success. It's the Craner curves. And that is Tim Sugden. There he is ahead. And David Leslie's Vauxhall in front of the BMW. Then he locks up his brakes. David Leslie locks up the brakes of the Vauxhall. Right on the limit. And Soper is attacking. Number 4, Steve Soper is attacking Tim Sugden. He's going to go through on the inside. And he's done it. That is class driving. He's 7th. Now for Leslie ahead. Or can he? I don't know what BMW pays Steve Soper, but he's worth it. Down the Starkey Straight. Now look at this. There's Leslie. Behind him is Soper. Then in the white car it's Sugden. Bobby Verdon Rowe, Middlehurst and Neal. Up to the Essex with Soper. Over the curve. Leslie's going wide and Soper's going through. Is he on the left? You can just see the Vauxhall of David Leslie. They're coming down to that braking point. And once again, the BMW brakes pay. And Soper goes through up into 5th position. We're with him. At this rate, Steve could win this. Into Goddard. Down he goes. Now, Steve's next target, believe it or not, is Andy Middlehurst's Nissan, the black car, and he's in 4th place. Redgate, there's the Nissan. There is Soper. Ahead of Leslie, ahead of Sugden. And Steve Soper is easing away from David Leslie. 39-year-old Steve Soper. This is his 21st year of racing. Look, and into the pits comes James Kay's Toyota. And that is Andy Middlehurst ahead in his best drive of the year. He's got the Nissan set up to suit his style, and it's paying off. But look at this, McLean's number 8, Tim Harvey, and he has caught the leader, Will Hoy's Toyota. Coming up to Coppice. This is terrific stuff. Will Hoy, who's already won this year. Tim Harvey, who has not won this year, but won last year for BMW. Raises the dust as he exits Coppice. Coppice absolutely flat out down Starkey's, about 140 miles an hour, braking hard for the S's. The Toyota leads, the BMW is second. Now, Tim Harvey is coming up to the place where these brakes pay off, and that's the Melbourne hairpin. Will Hoy leads, and straight past him on braking. Yes, yes, on the inside goes Tim Harvey, and he leads. Tucks his BMW in front of Will Hoy, and the BMW leads. The Toyota goes down to second place into Goddard. Now, BMW leads again in this race, but they have yet to win in 1992. And we're with Hoy, and he's not going to let that happen if he can avoid it. And that's Vic Lee's team, and they are ecstatic because Tim Harvey is leading. But there are still 9 laps to go, and Will Hoy here will not give up. Into the Craner curves at 145 miles an hour. Down to the old hairpin. 4th gear, the right-hander, 95 miles an hour. It's coming up now. Now let's compare the BMW in front with the Toyota. Climbing up towards McLean's, that's a 3rd gear corner, the right-hander. And the BMW is staying ahead. Rear-wheel drive. Got a weight penalty of 100 kilograms compared with the front-wheel drive Toyota. Through McLean's, Harvey still leads. Hoy is still second. We're in car with O'Dore now. 9th behind Bobby Verdon Rose Vauxhall. Closing right up on braking. And there they go, Vauxhall and Nissan. And that is Sean Walker. He came out, he's rejoined the race, but now he's retiring. Definitely no points. And at the S's, Tim Harvey leads, Will Hoy is second. John Cleland is third. Soper is catching the 3rd place man, John Cleland. David Leslie is 5th. Andy Middlehurst is 6th. And they're going down to the hairpin again, with Harvey leading. And Keith O'Dore is on his way to the hairpin. And he's on his way to 8th place past Bobby Verdon Rowe. He's taken it. The Nissan moves up a place. The Primera is 8th. And look at the dent in Bobby Verdon Rowe's rear. Oh dear, this does not look right. It's Patrick Watts' Mazda with a very worried-looking Roger Dowson looking on.
No problem.
Well, I wouldn't have said there was no problem, but there you go. Into the S's. Sugden, number 10, has caught David Leslie, who is in 6th place. So it's the Vauxhall 6th, the BMW is 7th. Up to Goddard, Harvey leading, Hoy 2nd, and Harvey is staying ahead as he goes into the left-hander, comes out of it. Number 1, Will Hoy, we're with him. It doesn't look as though Will is going to get his 2nd Toyota win here at Donington today, into Redgate. But hang on, Tim Harvey's exhaust is dragging along the ground. Look under the car. And Alain Menu comes into the pits from 11th place in his ProDrive BMW, and that's the 2nd ProDrive car in trouble. Tim Sugden chasing Leslie in 6th position. Smoke pouring from the right wheel arch in front. Tim Sugden, number 10. Wonder how long he'll last. In car with Soper, and he has caught Andy Middlehurst Nissan, 4th place. Soper still in 5th position, Soper in 4th position. He goes through and takes Andy Middlehurst with a beautifully clean move on the inside of McLean. So now what? Well, now we're with Will Hoy coming out of Coppice, going down Starkey Straight, chasing Tim Harvey, the leader, into the S's. Now, there's the 318IS BMW, left and right. Tim Harvey is going to do his darndest to stay where he is now and get his first win of the year for BMW. Down to that hairpin where the braking pays off so well for him. And it looks as though he's doing so again. He's increased his lead very slightly over Will Hoy as they come up to Goddard to complete another lap. Brake hard, swing left. Now look at that exhaust system if you can, as he goes by. There's Tim Harvey, the leader, accelerating, and look at it. Great stream of sparks. It's really dragging on the ground now, and Will Hoy can see them too, and that'll be a stimulus for him to go even faster into Redgate. Literally grinding away the system, and Tim Harvey's in danger of breaking the noise regulations if it gets any worse. With Hoy, well, you can see that Harvey making marks on the ground from that exhaust system is actually pulling away as he goes into the old hairpin. So Harvey leads. Hoy is second, Cleland in front of us is third, Soper is fourth, and we've almost caught him. Steve Soper, number 4, fourth place, going for third. An absolutely amazing drive, just like the drive he had at Brands Hatch, but he came up from the back of the field to finish in third position. Now he's fourth. This is almost unbelievable, but John Cleland is a crafty old campaigner. He knows enough to keep Steve Soper back. Now that's what Soper's got to do. He's got to close on that very powerful 275 horsepower plus, 4-cylinder, front-wheel drive, 2-litre Vauxhall. They go into the S's, and Soper's definitely catching Cleland. Now this is the hairpin, this is the breaking point, this is where the BMWs have done so well earlier on in the race. Harvey and Soper closes right up on Cleland. Now, can Steve Soper do a John Cleland at Goddard? Because they're coming up to the corner where John Cleland took second place in the previous race. And yes, he can! Cleland runs wide. Soper takes the inside line, moves up, and he is in third position. Amazing! Down to Redgate. And this is the last lap. It's Harvey and Hoy battling for first. But John Cleland in the Vauxhall is fighting back for third position, and has he got it? He's got the inside line, he's got the third place on the last lap. We're with Soper. On the right is John Cleland, who has retaken that third position. It's BMW, Toyota, Vauxhall, BMW. It couldn't be closer. Down to the old hairpin again. Now up towards McLean. And Cleland, it looks to me, has got the measure of Steve Soper on this, the last lap, with about half a lap to go. Soper closes up again. But remember, if Soper's going to make a try, it'll surely be at that Melbourne hairpin. They're coming up the hill now, round Coppice for the last time. Down Starkey Straight for the last time. Battling for third position, and you can see the first two ahead of them. And whoops, that's Ray Bell, giving himself a big fright on the grass, back on the tarmac. And down to the S's for the last time. Hoy goes through. Cleland third, Soper fourth. Now, this race, I think, for this position will depend on whether John Cleland can stay ahead at the hairpin. There is Harvey. There is Hoy in second place. Now, who's going to get through the hairpin third? They're absolutely together. Cleland on the left, Soper on the right. You can see Cleland on the left there. Coming up to the last corner. Now Cleland's got to stay ahead here to take that third position, and surely he will. No, he won't. Soper's going through on the inside. I wouldn't have thought there was room. He's pushed Cleland wide. Cleland goes onto the grass. Soper takes third position. Cleland takes fourth. So a BMW win for the first time in 1992, and not just a superb victory for Tim Harvey, but a brilliant third for his Vic Lee Motorsport teammate Steve Soper, with Will Hoy second and Cleland a fighting fourth.
Thank you.
Brilliant BMW, eh?
Well done, well done.
What can I say?
Tim, well done.
Thank you very much.
Last. How was it?
And me, get on. Thanks a lot. Terrific. New tyres for the second session, second race. Car felt fantastic. I went a bit hard in the first race, probably didn't do my tyres too much justice, but I knew if I was starting fourth second race, I managed to get in the lead actually on the first lap, and then I got to punt up the back and drop down again, but it all came good. Car was fantastic. Absolutely delighted obviously for Vic and Shell and Listerine, and especially BMW. First win for the coupe. How about that?
What a great day's racing at Donington, and John Cleland achieved his objective. He still leads the championship, 21 points ahead of Will Hoy, with 3 Vauxhalls, 2 Toyotas and a BMW in the top 6. More of the same, please.